Right. Hello and welcome to our bookshop and another one of our wonderful children's author visits, virtual author visits. We've got the brilliant Laura Mucha. Is it Mucha, Laura?
It's Mucha, but no one pronounces it right.
So. Right, so Laura Mucha and Hannah Peck. You'd have thought a professional like me would have worked out your pronunciation of your name before we started. Hello to all the schools watching. I've just had a little note from Penny. Little Peppers at Horridge and Cholsbury School. Hello to you guys. And I do know Long Marston are watching as well, so do shout out your names or whatever. Now, you're going to need to use the Q&A function in about 25 minutes. I want all your questions, well, you can start putting your questions in there now, to go to Laura and Hannah. And obviously the teacher can sit there and type all the questions from all the students. You're also going to need paper and a pencil as well. So, but without further ado, let me hand over to the wonderful writer, author in this little team we've got here, Laura Mucha. What is it again?
Mucha, but honestly,
Mucha. Laura Mucha, look at me, the pro.
Someone just popped up on chat saying hi. So I'm going to share my screen because I want you to be able to see Hannah's phenomenal illustrations as clearly as possible, but you will hopefully see a little square of my face on the side. Okay, let me try sharing screen. Now, hopefully that, hang on, there we are. So hopefully, can you see that, Hannah? Is that clear?
I can, it's crystal clear. It's all good to go.
We can, yes.
Right, so this is the book and this is Rita. Now, before I start reading, I just want to point out some things here. You're not going to be able to respond to me, so I'm going to be sort of talking to myself, but I'd like you to have a look on her bed and see if you can look at what is on there. What's on the duvet cover and the blanket? Is there a particular theme? What's the teddy that's on the bed? And have you noticed any theme to her slippers? Does her outfit have bunny rabbit ears on? And can you see on her wall, is there anything with a particular theme on the wall?
I think she might like rabbits.
You could be a detective, Ben, I think. That's like attention to detail. You can see some things hanging. They're orange with a bit of green on the top. From the walls. What are those? And then she's drawing something, which we will hopefully be drawing later. What is it? And then she's got a list here on the floor. I'm just going to read it. It says Flopsy Hopsy, Bouncer Bugs, Fluffball Thumper, Mr. Hugs. And then her diary says, Dear Diary, I wish I had a rabbit. And then, Dear Diary, still no rabbit.
Oh, bless.
I know. And then also, just in case you didn't see it, there's a carrot hanging from a stick. Why could that be? So I'm going to start reading. I'm just going to move my face so I can actually see the text. Rita wanted a rabbit. She really, really, really wanted a rabbit. And now, finally, it was her birthday. She ran down the stairs, ran past her birthday cake and ran up to the big box in the living room where her grandpa was waiting. Look at that box, it's so big, what's going to be in there? Is it a rabbit? A few more things I'd just like to point out. Look at that birthday cake. I now feel like I've been shortchanged in my life on birthday cakes because that one is just so massive and the candles are so long. And look, she's got presents underneath the birthday cake and there are party hats and like so many balloons. This is a good birthday. Surprise, he said. And it was a surprise because when Rita opened the box, she didn't find big floppy ears, a small fluffy tail and fabulously furry feet. Instead, it's a bearded dragon, said Grandpa. Oh, thank you, she said, trying to smile. I'd just like to pause at this point and say, I'd like you all to reflect on whether you've ever had a present that you didn't really like and whether you tried to do the, oh, thank you. And how well that went for you. I'm not sure I'm very good at those, and I should definitely try and do better. So she's just said, oh, thank you. But then she can't hide it anymore. But I wanted a rabbit! And Spike was not a rabbit. He wasn't even close. He wasn't squidgy, splendid or soft. He was scaly, scary, scratchy, scrabbly, scrawny, speckled and spiky. I'd just like to say, I really like the tantrum face on Rita. And I think
Thank you.
it was like my tantrum face. So it was almost like you modelled it on me.
You were my inspiration.
Thanks. Rita decided to ignore the dragon. But that wasn't easy with all the hissing. I like the way here that she's like, you know what, I know you're there, but I'm just going to keep drawing rabbits, okay? She tried to take him back to the pet shop. Good idea, but it was closed. She tried to give him to the neighbours. Sorry, they said, we don't have room for any more pets.
I love the dragon's eyes there. Not happy.
He knows exactly what's going on, I think.
I'd just like to make sure that you can all see the rabbits going on here, because I really enjoy the rabbits flying through the air with their ears going, woo! And then there's one where you can literally only see his bottom poking over the top of the paper. Just want to make sure you can see all of this. And there's and there's one playing a musical instrument.
Can I tell you about this musical instrument very quickly?
Yeah.
It's actually a carrot that's been hollowed out.
Very good.
Oh, we could do that. That could be our next exercise after we've done it. So, sorry, they said we don't have any room for more pets. It's so unfair, said Rita. All I have ever wanted is a rabbit. And I believe her based on what we've seen. Like, her whole bedroom is basically rabbit central. Then one evening, Rita had a surprise visitor. Oh, this is so exciting! What's it gonna be? What a cute little rabbit! Don't you think that rabbit looks cute? Finally, what she'd always wanted! Spike doesn't look very happy, but who cares? But this little bunny wasn't quite what she'd expected. He didn't want to be stroked. Yippee! He didn't want to be cuddled. These slippers look tasty. And he wasn't very friendly. Ouch!
You've armed him with a bow and arrow. A bow and carrot.
He made it.
From the beginning in her bedroom, you know, and she has the stick and the string. I was thinking maybe that could have been remodelled.
Not just frowny, he's clever. Worst combination. Rita didn't know what to do. Can we just pause a moment and look at the chaos? The furniture's on the floor, the walls are filthy. I mean, everything, it's terrible. There's like a rabbit drawing. Spike looks petrified. Rita didn't know what to do until, also, what has the rabbit just done on the carpet?
Ooh.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Hiss! Spike spoke! Now, good for you, Spike. Wait till it hits her lowest point and then save the day. You know, if you said it earlier, she might not have appreciated you as much. Now, look at the rabbit's face. The rabbit here is not looking so confident or grumbly. And Spike is like, doo-doo-doo.
Saving the day.
Yeah. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. We just counted and we only have 4,289 rabbits. So we must have lost one. Have you seen him? Shy, fluffy little thing. Tinku! Thank goodness you're safe! Now, I sort of feel like they've got a different rabbit because this guy is not shy and fluffy, but fine. Also, have you spotted the wanted posters they've made for their rabbit? These guys were desperate. Oh, Spike. I thought rabbits were supposed to be friendly, fluffy, and floppy. But that rabbit was frowny and fierce. Spike didn't have floppy ears. What's she painting now? Is it a rabbit? He didn't have a small fluffy tail, and he didn't have fabulously furry feet. He was scaly, scary, scratchy, scrabbly, scrawny, speckled, and spiky. And Rita loved him.
Oh.
Right, now just before we go, I just want you to have a quick look now at her bedroom. Can you see any carrots hanging from the ceiling? Are there any rabbits on her wall, or has she drawn a different creature? What is her bedspread? Does it have carrots on it or rabbits, or is it something else? What are her slippers and what is her outfit? Her outfit doesn't look like a rabbit outfit anymore. And also, what is the toy that's in her toy box? It doesn't look like a rabbit either. I think I kind of like this change because I think her outfit's really, really cool. I'm now going to hand over to Hannah. It's really, really, really important that you have your pencils or pens and some paper, okay?
Brilliant. Hello, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed Laura's dramatic reading. I've never heard it read out before, and I was very entertained by all the voices. So let me share my screen. What we're going to be doing now is...
Laura, if you stop sharing.
I know, I'm trying. I don't know, it's not going very well.
Hit a button at the top, if that's the...
I know, stop video, mute my audio.
This will give you time to get your colouring pencils together.
Ah, there, I got it.
Hurrah.
Perfect. So now I'm going to be sharing my screen, which might look a bit messy because as an illustrator, you have lots of things all over the place. But can everyone see my screen? Am I showing okay?
You need to show the full...
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this good? Is this the whole screen?
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm going to take you to look at this particular spread that I designed. Hopefully you can see all of the different types of rabbits. Now, I had so much fun thinking of all these different rabbits and all the activities that they're doing, all the different colours, all the different shapes, what their hobbies and interests might be, you know? So Laura did say some of them up at the top, you can see that they're doing like gymnastics off the sofa, their ears just like flying around, maybe they're doing backflips, who knows? They look very talented to me. Some of them are incredibly well behaved. So I think you can spot one on the sofa that's got a bow tie and he's sitting up very straight. And I just think, you know, maybe he's one of the more calm rabbits of the bunch. Then, as we said, as I pointed out, we've got one playing a kind of, maybe a carrot that's been hollowed out to be a clarinet, playing some beautiful jazz, some beautiful tunes. So, you know, one rabbit might be enough to, you know, just be a normal pet, but this family has, I think, over 2,000, isn't it, Laura?
Yes.
Over 2,000. So I didn't want to draw 2,000 rabbits. I thought that would be, I don't think they would have fit in the page. So I think I drew about 10. And yeah, had so much fun designing them. So I'm thinking what we can do now with the pen and paper that you hopefully have in front of you, and maybe some colouring things and pencils and that kind of thing, is we can design a rabbit, all of us at the same time. And it can look exactly however you want it to look. It's your rabbit, it's the kind of pet of your dreams. So you can decide what they're going to look like, what colour they're going to be, and maybe we can get thinking about their personalities as well. So hopefully everyone's got things in for them. Ben and Laura, have you got your...
I have got mine.
Yeah. Got our watercolor pencils. Our
Yes,
fancy
I've got
pens and
mine.
paper. Okay, brilliant. Now I'm going to share a video with you of me drawing some rabbits, and I'll just talk you through how to get going. So, draw your own rabbit. Woo! Let's rewind a bit. Don't want to give it all away. Okay. So when it comes to drawing your own rabbit, you have to start with an essential shape. So we can have a nice egg shape like this, or we can have different shapes. You can make it long and tall or wider. It doesn't really matter because rabbits come in all different shapes and sizes. If you add ears to any of the shapes, you've basically got the bare bones of your rabbit already, and the tails too. So I'm going to choose the one in the middle. This is the rabbit that I'm going to go with. And I'm just going to start in a soft pencil to get the shape. And then maybe I'll go over the top later with some colours. And also it's worth mentioning, I'm doing this on a computer. So it might look a bit different to how it does with your pen and paper, but I'm doing it with the computer because when I illustrate children's books, it is just so much easier, and I get to play around with lots of different colours and textures. So you might think it's cheating, but I think that it's my job, so. So here we go. I've added my ears on my rabbit, and I've made them very long. So sometimes it's good to exaggerate certain features to make things a bit more humorous and a bit more funny. So maybe your rabbit has an enormous tummy or an enormous feet, hopefully, not just one foot. Or saggy ears that go all the way down. You know, I think anything that's kind of exaggerated. So now I'm going to give my rabbits some eyes. Now in the book, all the rabbits have very round, big eyes because I wanted them to look like they've all had a bit too much sugar, a bit too much birthday cake, maybe. And I think big round eyes just helps give them that little bit of a hyper look. But maybe your rabbit's sleepy, you know, maybe they have slightly more closed eyes or they're a bit more peaceful. But for my one, I decided to make him, you know, a little bit more awake. So I've given him whiskers, and remember that rabbits have little dots above their cheeks as well, and that's where the whiskers come out of. This is how I draw legs. Hopefully you'll be able to copy that, but if not, you could just add the little feet at the bottom of the body. They don't have to have the actual leg shape. And then you can draw some little arms on them. So this is my sketch of a rabbit. So maybe this is where you're at as well. Maybe I'm going a bit too fast. But is it a bit too fast?
I've just done the legs. Can I just need a moment.
What was it, Laura? I want to see what you've got so far. Can I see?
Yeah.
Oh, you've done a really big one. Oh, I love it. Oh, I like the curly ear.
Thanks. That was
That's very fun. Yeah.
Bonkers, isn't it? But I need to do the tail and the arms.
Okay.
So can you tell me how to do the tail and the arms, please?
I think you should add a tail off the side of one of the legs, because we know that a rabbit's tail is on their bottom, but you can't see a bottom from the front, so you can just put it on the side. And then the arms, rabbits' arms are quite little. They're kind of up here, almost like a dinosaur, like a T-Rex. So I think this shape here is basically just like the letter U, isn't it? You're just doing a whoop. And you can put them up high up here, or maybe they have longer arms, or maybe they're doing something, waving, playing something. We can add all those bits in later. So, are we ready to get to the colouring part, maybe?
I would give another like 20 seconds, because there was just a message on chat saying
I'm going to do something. I'm doing a bit more on my ears.
Are you? Okay. I'm excited to see yours, Ben. I haven't seen yours.
I've done inordinately large feet.
And so yours is going to be a very high jumper. Rabbit, perhaps some kind of pole vaulter.
I'm giving mine some trainers.
Oh, trainers.
Trainers. Oh. There's an idea. Oh, I'm going to nick that one. Sorry.
That was an original idea.
We're all going to end up with rabbits with trainers on, I think. I think hats can be fun as well.
Have to be hats with holes in for ears. Or
Definitely.
little hats over it.
Very little hats, yeah, or maybe the hat pushes down the ears.
A hat's a great idea. Go on.
I think the thing about these rabbits is they definitely all have personality. They're not your normal rabbits, you know. They've all got something that they're very passionate about and interested in. And that's what makes them such a, you know, they can be your ideal friend, your ideal pet. Maybe that's something that you're really interested in and that you really like. Maybe if you really like painting, your rabbit is going to be an artist with a little palette and an apron on or something.
Hannah, I need your help. I've done
Yes.
mine and I feel like my bottom is too low and it looks like the rabbit is squatting.
I see. And do you know what I think you should do?
Chair?
Is rub out its bottom.
I can't, I'm using pen.
Oh, okay, well then just make it longer and you can colour it in later, can't you? So bring the bottom down to where the feet are.
That's the problem with adding trainers after the event.
Trainers were quite a big commitment, I think.
I'm just casually shading at the bottom.
Yeah. I just think with these rabbits,
I think it's important.
there is a right and wrong way to do them.
I think the hat and the trainers are going to match in colour.
Oh, lovely. A very fashionable rabbit.
I always can coordinate my hand trainers.
I always wear a hat every day. I'm wearing one right now.
Very good. I might do Adidas stripes.
No branding, please.
Maybe might get a sponsor, Laura.
I've actually genuinely got a policy decision where I don't ever have brands in my books. And I have an adult book where I interviewed hundreds of strangers and loads of them gave brands of like clothes and cars, and I just stripped it all out because I don't want my writing to make people feel like they need to buy stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I haven't really
I'm against it, particularly for children.
Yeah.
Now, what colour do I do the body?
So, right, let's go to the colour.
Am I scooting ahead there? So.
I will talk.
I'm still doing my hat then.
So I'll let you know what I'm going to do on my rabbit, which is I'm going to go over the top of my my pencil drawing with some colours. And what I like doing with this is because my rabbit's going to be quite hyper and a bit messy, and I think he's had a lot of sugar, I like to draw in a way that, you know, because he's a messy rabbit, you can be a bit messy with how you're drawing. So I think one of the nice things about this is that you don't have to colour in very tightly or neatly if you don't want to. And I think sometimes the messier, the better. And it's also more fun. So I'm going to have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun mixing lots of different colours on top of each other inside the lines of my rabbit. So at the moment, I'm just using nice chocolatey brown. But look, now I'm adding different types of like orange. You know, your rabbit can be any colour. It doesn't have to be normal rabbit colours. This is, you know, if your rabbit's wearing a hat and trainers, then I think we're past the point where completely realistic.
I think I said earlier, but I'm colourblind, so this mine could end up any colour here.
We'll tell you at the end. So look, I'm being quite messy, and you know, you get some rabbits that have lots of different types of patterns and spots, and you know, their fur can be all mottled. Has my video stopped? What's happening? And another thing to think about is when you're bringing in different colours, maybe what I've done in the book a lot is giving them different coloured cheeks. So doing pink or red cheeks, and then doing the same colour up their ears as well. So just like on humans, you know, I have brown hair and brown eyebrows and they match. On this rabbit, maybe their cheeks and their ears can match, and that just helps make the whole picture, you know, a little bit more consistent. So now I've added some white, and as I've said, because I'm on a computer, I can put colours on top of each other, and it's quite easy. So maybe you want to colour around those areas. I'm just going to make his eyes look a little bit more wide and intense, and go over his arms a bit. So he's coming together quite nicely, I think. I kind of wish I'd put this one in the book.
Too late. It's been printed.
Book number 2.
Right.
So now I'm going to, oh look, I've gone a little bit far ahead. Here I am, just building my rabbit up. I've given him a strange little haircut, which I think is quite fun and adds some personality. And now when it comes to what I think my rabbit's going to be doing, I feel like he looks like he has eaten too much birthday cake, as I've been saying. So I am just going to put some icing on his face, like he's just made a bit of a mess. So I wonder what yours might be doing. Maybe this is where you start thinking about what mischief they've been up to. Maybe they've got like a sock hanging out of their mouth that they've stolen from the laundry basket or something like that. Add some sprinkles on the floor. And then I'm going to add a slice of birthday cake that he's just scoffed. And Laura, I know you said that you really like the cake in the book.
Can you make me one, please?
Of course, of course. I'm as good as chef as I am.
I want the candles as well. The candles have to be like taller than my head, which is
yeah. I had a lot of fun just kind of exaggerating that cake. So hopefully this rabbit hasn't been eating the candles, but I'm going to add some on the floor. These green ones. And I'm also going to add some chocolate sauce icing, that's the word, chocolate icing on the top of the cake.
This is making me very hungry.
I'm quite hungry too. I haven't had my lunch and I think now I just want to
Is 11:27 too early to eat cake?
Never. Especially, and this is a local reference, black goo cake.
So here's my rabbit, and yours will definitely be looking different, but that is the whole point. And maybe I've got a couple more pictures. There we go.
Hopefully now you have.
Oh, there we go.
There's more.
So look, see, you could have come up with any shape, any different color combination. I really like the one who's got the bow on their head, but they don't maybe look as mischievous as my first rabbit. So maybe in the Q&A, you can tell me what your rabbit was doing and what your perfect rabbit pet would look like. Laura and Ben, any progress on the trainers and the hats?
I'm going to do a big reveal on my one.
You do a big reveal at the end.
I don't know if Laura's ready. But,
I'm just adding a detail, so I'll have to do Ben's first.
Oh wow!
Yes. Those shoes.
I'm rather pleased with that. I might frame.
I like you were very confident lines. Yeah.
Yes, with a very messy colouring in. I should have this. Oh, let's have
those pictures on the wall, they're all very nice, but I think you should be framing that rabbit.
So teachers, I don't know if you're going to be able to, but I know 1 or 2 schools are pretty good at the whole social media thing. But if take some photos of all your artwork, perhaps on a wall, and either post it on social media, on Twitter, and tag our bookshop or whatever. So.
And tag Hannah and I, please. So
tag Laura and Hannah. You'll Laura and Hannah.
I'll give you some.
The last tweet I did. Look at that.
Oh wow! What's coming out of his head?
So that's a hat.
Oh, I see. Actually, brilliant.
I'm like, and he's got a carrot and a bow because he's a. I really wanted to do something with the eyebrows, but because I'm working in pen, I was a bit worried that because they can be such a game changer, and I couldn't decide whether it should be like a ha rabbit or a what? I've just got a bow and arrow rabbit. So I decided not to commit, and then over here is a hat and an ear from a different rabbit.
Oh, lovely! I think my favourite part is the ear. The ear is very clever.
I can see questions are coming in, so keep them coming, and make sure you credit the child who asks the question. I'm going to, Mrs. Gale asks, she's in year 2 at one of the schools, what program do you use to do your illustrations? That's an adult question, obviously.
Yeah, although maybe some of you have iPads or family members have iPads, which is what I use. So there's a program which is free called Procreate. And it's really fun. And you don't have to be professional to use it. You need your little Apple pen. What I like to do is I like to sketch things out in real life on paper, and then I'll take it into colour on Procreate. But when I make books, it's definitely very helpful, and hopefully something that you can try out as well.
I might add that this is Hannah's first event. Is that right? First Zoom
It is,
event?
yeah. It's
So
my
Hannah,
first
can I just say, well done. That was brilliant.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Let's have some questions. So, and actually, they're all aimed at Hannah at the moment, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be some questions for Laura as well. Ada in Honeypot class, don't know which school that is. How long did it take to illustrate the book?
Ooh, that's an interesting one, because I work on lots of different books at the same time, but normally it would probably take me about a day to do a page. So if there's 32 pages, probably about a month. But it's interesting because there's so much time that you spend at the beginning researching, and obviously we talk about looking at different pictures of rabbits, deciding what the bedroom's going to look like. There's lots of planning before you actually sit down and do the drawing, which is nice to know, because I think sometimes you look at a blank piece of paper and you think, got to draw something amazing, but there's lots of planning beforehand. So,
yes, that's very true. Right, this is a question for both of you. How many books have you written? This is from Savannah at Long Marston. Laura, I know you're very experienced. You've done lots more books, haven't you?
I don't think I've done more than Hannah. Hi, Savannah. I hope I pronounced that right. Hi, thanks for asking a question. So I've written a book for adults, which was like relatively fun, but there were no pictures, and I feel like children are more interesting than adults, and I get to do events with children, so we'll ignore that one. I have a poetry collection that came out last year, and another one that's come out today, and also Rita's Rabbit, and I also have lots more that are coming, but they're all top secret, so I can't tell you.
You've launched 2 books today.
Yeah, well, this one was meant to actually come out in like February, wasn't it, Hannah? And then because of the pandemic, they delayed it.
Lots of stuff's been.
And then chose the same day as the other book. So I did a launch event for the other book last night.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so after this, am I going to have a lie down?
So Teddy asks, is this your first bunny book then?
Was that for me or for Hannah? Hi, Teddy.
Yeah. Teddy. So Hannah, same question to you.
About books.
Yes.
I've illustrated a few picture books. I did Somebody Swallowed Stanley, which has been in schools quite a lot, about a plastic bag in the sea. But during the pandemic, I actually wrote my first book and illustrated it. And it's for sort of 5 to 7. It's a first chapter book, and it's called Kate on the Case. So look out for that. It's set on a train, and it's a mystery book. So yeah, I'm excited for that one to come out. But that's
I'm just reading George's question from Honeypot. How many rabbits have you drawn in your life?
Too many. Too many, George.
In theory, 2,000, isn't it?
2,898.
No, it was 4,000. How can you not? I'm going to get the right number. 289.
No, it's 2,000.
Was it 2,000 or 4,000? You wrote it. Oh dear, George. Thank you for that question.
Thanks, George. Yeah, I've drawn enough rabbits, I think, to last me a while.
4,000.
Is it?
289.
4,000. Get it right, Hannah.
I stand corrected.
So Nia in Honeypot class asks, I can't ask the first question. You can't say how old are you, but when did you start illustrating books? So how old were you when you started illustrating books? Is probably.
I will tell you how old I am. I'm 27 years old. And don't feel bad about asking that question, it's fine. And I was probably 22 when I started illustrating. So can't do maths, 5 or 6 years, I think, that I've been doing it. And I work mostly in children's books, but also book covers for older children as well. So lots of different types. Yeah.
Lovely, lots of questions. Horace and Charlesbury are using the chat button, so I can see your questions here. Laura asks, who are your favourite characters to write about? So that's Laura. What are your favourite characters to write about other than bunnies and dragons?
Who was it that asked the question?
Laura. That's it.
Laura. First of all, well done on having a great name. Second of all, in terms of the who I write about, I think things just sort of randomly pop up. So like in terms of poems, I've written poems from the point of view of a spider, Shakespeare, a dinosaur. I've like rewritten fairy tales. So I've like rewritten Rapunzel where she saves herself, because why should she just sit around and wait for a prince? I've written a poem from Goldilocks, kind of trying to soothe the three bears, for example. So like poems are quite nice because they're quite short, and so I like kind of diving into being someone and like writing a poem from that person's point of view that kind of shifts how you might see things. In terms of books, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you. The next picture book I have coming out is about a well-known character who I think is like under-featured and under-talked about. So when you're writing stories, a top tip I have, or poems or anything, is to think about who you're writing about. So like, let's say we were writing a book about Cinderella. Maybe we don't write it about Cinderella. Maybe we write it about one of the ugly sisters. Do you know what I mean? And actually, suddenly, by picking something unusual, why don't we write the book from the fairy godmother's point of view? I'm sick of being a fairy godmother, all these people just coming in and asking me questions. And so, or in The Emperor's New Clothes, write it from the child's point of view, who's like, guys, these adults, what are they doing? They're all idiots. So basically, I think if you think about who else could be doing it, even inanimate objects, then immediately you shake things up. And I think that's also quite important for life, because if you just kind of suck these things up without thinking about them, then you can like internalize ideas that aren't that great. For example, it's totally acceptable for a prince to make a princess lie on 20 mattresses on a pea to decide who he wants to marry. Like, maybe she doesn't want to marry him because he made her lie on 20 mattresses. Like, what? So I think it's quite helpful to change the voice.
Yeah. Conversely, so Maisie's asking, what is your favourite rabbit? That's right. No, don't worry. Favourite rabbit? Do rabbits come in versions?
In the book, the favourite rabbit.
Yes, I suspect.
Maisie, sorry, maybe you mean rabbit in the book.
I think Maisie is referring to my rabbit, which I have to say have to be one of your favourites.
Oh, if I have to pick which of whose is the best out of Laura's and Ben's.
That one. Bounce.
Is that your favourite one?
Wait, can you? No, I'm here. That's right.
The bottom. His bottom's very much out there. I really like this one too. Yeah. I really like the ears on this.
And I really like this one, who's like oblivious to everything that's going on and just playing his carrot instrument.
I think for a future event, we need to all have carrots and be trying to hollow them out. Windmill class has said, we love guinea pigs. Would you write a book about guinea pigs? I love guinea pigs as well. Anyway.
Windmill class, you've got good taste.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, Windmill class. I don't think there are any books about guinea pigs, so that's definitely a gap.
Let's do it, but just don't tell anyone.
Guinevere's guinea pig.
Even spell Guinevere. It's gonna be.
I'm not sure you can answer Zara's question from Honey Podcast. How many different colours did you have to use?
Is it Laura or Zara?
Zara.
Do you know what? It's an interesting question, because I actually, when I illustrate, I pick about 3 or 4 colours that are my favourite. So green, red, and pink probably. And then I mix them together to make other ones, maybe add a bit of white, a bit of black. And so you end up with a book that looks all the colours are very the same, and you know that you're reading the book. You're in the world of the book all the time. Yeah. And so I think actually picking a few of your favourite colours can make a picture really look strong and very dynamic.
Yeah. There was a thing this might be one for the teachers, but on the news last night, there was a comment about how you voted at the election today, which is very current. And there was a line used by, if you want green, vote green or get green or something like that. But actually, if you vote Tory and Lib Dem, that gets you green as well, because they're blue and yellow. Which, sorry, that's where my brain goes when I'm watching the news. Bizarre. Anyway, because ignore me.
No, all about colours.
So,
question for Laura: have you worked with other illustrators? And Hannah, have you worked with other writers?
I have.
Laura?
I worked with someone brilliant called Tanya Rex on my poetry collection. She, I think, is in Latvia. So we have never actually spoken, but we've exchanged a few emails. And as with Hannah, it's really lovely to see how someone else, how someone else's creative brain responds to the words that you've created. Do you know what I mean? I think that's amazing. And then also someone called Victoria Wheeler on the collection that came out today. And the collection that came out today is about mental health. So it's quite a difficult one to illustrate, but I think she's done a really good job. But no one that I've ever met in my whole life does rabbits or bearded dragons better than Hannah Peck.
The question was from Alex, by the way. I should credit him. I don't know if I said
Alex!
Hello, Alex. Hannah, what other authors have you worked with?
I worked with Nicola Davies on a book about butterflies. Do you know what? I promise I don't have these lined up. I am just right next to my bookshelf. So I did this one. And Somebody Swallowed Stanley was with Sarah Roberts. And then I do books for slightly older children as well. So I do a lot of book covers. So this is a book by Benjamin Reed and Laura Trinder, and it's part of a three-part book series. So
nice.
Lots of authors for sort of middle grade books as well. But yes, I also will extend the compliment and say that I've had a lot of fun working on Rita's Rabbit. Some of the most fun.
Now we've got 3 minutes left. The Jess has asked a question from Honeypot class. Where do you get your ideas from? So Laura, was the idea for this book originally yours, or was it a team effort?
It was mine. I saw someone wearing a sequined onesie, as in like an all-in-one outfit at a party, and I didn't know them, and I went up to them and I said, "I'm sorry, I've got to tell you that I just think your outfit is the best thing I've ever seen." And they said, "Oh, thanks." And then we got chatting about their reptile collection, and we maybe spoke for like a couple of hours, and then at the end I said, "I'm going to write a book about this." And so I had recently experienced something where I really, really was like desperate to have something that I really wanted. I can't even remember what it was now. I was desperate, and all I could think about was this thing I really wanted. And then it turned out that I didn't really want it, and I'd wasted all that energy. And so I thought, I know, maybe I can combine reptile collection with really wanting something. And then I thought, when I was a child, I had 12 rabbits. So rabbits was my go-to.
Did you?
Makes so much sense.
So that's why I wrote it.
So you're that weird neighbour with 4,500 bunnies.
Well, they just kept having babies. That's the problem. We only had 2 to begin with.
Breeding like rabbits.
Yeah, well, exactly. So we've got a minute left. Let me just get through. There's a few extra questions here. So Laura, what are your favourite characters to write about? I think we kind of did that earlier, didn't we, Laura?
I think anything can be interesting. It's just about paying attention and having the right attitude.
Laura also asked, what's your favourite animal? Hannah, favourite animal?
Oh, a tiger.
Tiger.
What about Spike, Hannah? What about Spike?
Spike.
Oh, Spike. We've only got a few seconds left. So, Laura, what's your favourite question?
What's my favourite question?
Favourite animal?
Spike the bearded dragon, obviously.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Right, listen, thank you so much, schools, for joining. Thank you to Hannah. Thank you for Laura for what's been a fairly interesting 45 minutes. It's been a pleasure to host you all. We can obviously get the books for you. We've got signed book plates, and we've got lots of books for you. So do order them from our bookshop. Other than that, thank you very much, schools, for your support, and thank you to Faber for helping out, and Beth. I know you're still watching. So Laura and Hannah, thank you, the pair of you.
Thank you, everyone. It's been lovely.
Brilliant. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.